Using swimming aids can feel like cheating, but they can be a useful tool to improve your stroke mechanics and make you more efficient and make you a stronger swimmer. So today I'm going to introduce you to 3 swimming aids you should take with you to the swimming pool, and 2 which you really shouldn't. First up, paddles. They're essentially just plastic boards which you attach to your hand to increase the surface area of your hand when you swim. You increase the surface area, you're going to pull more water and increase the resistance, and if you increase the resistance, you're obviously going to build strength. And this is the main point of paddles. But there are some other benefits too, and some pitfalls which triathletes are particularly prone to falling into. Because you are pulling more water, it is harder. This forces you to use a more efficient stroke, and any kinks in your stroke, like a sideways hand, will become immediately obvious. The upside of this is that you can keep a decent stroke even when you're tired. A pretty useful thing for triathletes. But the downside is that extra resistance on a faulty stroke can cause injury or shoulder pain. To avoid issues from paddles, here are some tips. First, start with smaller paddles. You don't need dinner plate paddles. Yes, I'm talking to you, tough guy. You can't handle dinner plate paddles. Start with smaller ones. Smaller than that even. Maybe even smaller than this. You may want to start with finger paddles. Trust me, you'll thank me in the long run. You don't need big paddles. Tip 2, start with short intervals wearing paddles and build up the time that you spend using them as you adapt. And tip 3, pull slow to go fast. If you try and swim with fast arms with paddles, the only way you can get your arm through that water is to spill water. And that's going to teach you bad stroke mechanics. Rather, pull slowly and build up as you get stronger and more used to the paddles. While we're here, let's talk about a toy you should not be using, the parachute. We just said that increasing the resistance of your swim can be a good thing, but this is not the way to do it. Much like those paddles, this does increase the resistance of your swimming. You drag it behind you, it slows you down, and therefore you have to swim harder, which should make you stronger. However, as we've said so many times in pretty much every one of our videos, most people in the swimming pool don't need more training, they need better technique. And swimming constantly, slowing yourself down and pulling water past your body instead of pulling your body past the water is absolutely not what you need to be doing in training. Now, there is an argument that maybe this has a place for elite swimmers training for a 50-meter freestyle who want to swim fast but have some resistance. But that's not you if you're a triathlete. So if you're a triathlete, leave the parachute behind. Most triathletes don't need an introduction to this toy. In fact, most triathletes need to be gently coaxed off their addiction to the pull buoy. The pull buoy helps you maintain a better body position in the water by lifting the hips. It also helps you to be less reliant on your probably inefficient leg kick. And because it holds your body in a better position, it helps you improve your technique. You can work on your rotation and pull without your leg sinking. These are all good things. And when you add in the 2 kickers for triathletes, it helps you mimic that body position that you're going to have in a wetsuit, and it allows you to swim longer when you're tired without your legs sinking. You can see why triathletes start using these like pull buoy junkies. But the pull buoy, for all its benefits, should be used sparingly and only when needed. And now I hear you saying, I need it all the time. Well then, if you're the pull buoy junkie who needs to break your addiction, use your pull buoy only for specific sessions where you want to isolate the upper body. Or maybe to put it in for that last set that you wouldn't do otherwise because your legs are too tired. Stop using your pull buoy for the warm-up. Our third toy that every triathlete should have in their wet bag when they go to the pool is the snorkel. No, not that snorkel you bought for $15 at Walmart the last time you went on holiday and tried to look for fishes and half drowned when the water went down the pipe. I'm talking this snorkel. It's a freestyle snorkel. And it looks really weird because it goes up the front of your face. But it does allow you to swim freestyle or front crawl without your snorkel getting in the way of the arms and completely removes the need for you to turn your head or rotate to breathe. Now, this one can seem pretty pointless. After all, you can't use one of these in a triathlon, and if you used it all the time, when it came to your triathlon, you wouldn't know how to breathe. But actually, it's a very useful tool. You see, what happens with most swimmers, particularly beginner swimmers, but even more advanced swimmers, is that their entire stroke revolves around that breath. They take the breath and then swim frantically to get to the next breath. And that is all they really think about. Whereas good swimmers, their breath seems to be only a fraction of their stroke, hardly, almost an afterthought. And that's what this allows you to do. It allows you to swim without thinking about your breathing. You can breathe in or out whenever you want to, which allows you to focus on all the other aspects of your stroke that you need to work on. Just remember to still rotate. Just because you don't have to rotate to breathe doesn't mean you should cut the rotation out of your front crawl stroke. It does still require some rotation. Finally, we have these fins. Now, this one might be a little bit controversial because many triathletes will have these in their kit bag and they will use them often. However, I'm including them in my list today of things that don't make you faster. Let me explain. There is a place for fins in your swim session. That place is when you're doing drills. And even then, only specific drills, slow drills. Drills where your body position is paramount and your speed is too slow to maintain your balance, like single arm or side kick, or when you have a coach on poolside who wants to isolate one part of your stroke. They are not a tool to swim faster, or to swim further, or to improve your stroke mechanics. They can and will do the opposite. They artificially improve and enhance your leg kick, like a motor on a bicycle. They will feel great and you will go faster. And when you take the motor off the bicycle, you'll be a worse cyclist for it. It's very similar with fins. They'll allow you to go faster, but worse than that, they artificially allow you to compensate for poor rotation and balance by using little leg kicks to compensate for poor form. They don't teach you to improve it, they are a crutch. And if you use a crutch too much, when you really don't need it, you'll do more harm than good. So be prudent on how often you slip your fins onto your feet. And if you're unsure whether you should or shouldn't be using them, don't use them. Leave them at home. You'll thank me for it later on. A little word on this to the triathletes out there. Using fins can actually be quite useful if you have those really stiff ankles and your feet go through the water like a rudder, because they kind of force you to stretch that ankle out. So don't leave them at home all the time if you're a triathlete with really stiff ankles. And that's it for our toys. 3 that you really should be taking with you to the pool and 2 that you probably shouldn't. Have we left any out? Are there toys that you rely on in your triathlon training? If so, leave a comment down below to let us know what we missed out so that your other triathletes know what they should be taking with. Thanks for watching and happy swimming.